Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. You're tuned in to Emo Nightly News every moment online. In tonight's headlines, Kalinago Council advances Casava cultivation project. Dominica Social Security celebrates 50 years of service. Anguilla welcomes home Miss Ariel Boucher after regional pageant success. OECS mourns the passing of Dr. William Warren Smith. Leeward Islands, Jamaica, emerged victorious from action-packed women's regional season. Barbados Labour Party promises targeted cost of living relief. And Bill and Hillary Clinton agrees to testify in House Epstein probe ahead of contempt vote. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Was that a cough?
No, just a little tickle in my throat.
That was a cough.
No, it wasn't.
You need to go home.
I'm not contagious.
No. You need
It's
to go
chronic
home.
bronchitis.
No. You need to go home. No. Stop.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 3rd of February, 2026. In local news this evening, the Dominica Water and Sewage Company, DOWASCO, in collaboration with the Forestry Division, is participating in Caribbean Sanitation with Nature, currently underway in Martinique from February 1 to 6, 2026. Caribsan is a regional initiative aimed at improving wastewater treatment through constructed wetlands, a sustainable and nature-based sanitation solution. Delegation members include Magnus Williams, Project Lead, Donna Lewis, Administrative and Finance, Louis Alfred, Environmental Training, Kimani Saint-Jean, Communications, Hippolyte Ostry, Construction Works, Bradley Guy, Botanist. Phase 1 of the project focused on capacity building and the identification of a suitable site for a pilot initiative. This groundwork has now paved the way for Phase 2, which will involve the construction of a pilot constructed wetland. The pilot project will be located in La Plaine, serving the government housing complex, with construction activities expected to commence during this second phase of Caribsan. This collaboration represents a significant step toward environmentally sustainable sanitation solutions for Dominica and the wider Caribbean region. The project is funded through the European Union Territorial Cooperation Programme and the French Agency of Development, AFD, in collaboration with the Office de l'Eau, ODE Martinique. The Kainago Council, in partnership with the Pawanka Funds, continues to make steady progress on its cassava cultivation project within the Kainago territory. The initiative is expected to benefit 20 farmers, several of whom have already begun replanting their farms. Over the next 8 months and beyond, the project is anticipated to significantly increase cassava production across the community. This initiative represents a strong step toward enhancing food security, strengthening sustainable livelihoods, and promoting agricultural resilience within the Kainago community. Dominica Social Security marked a major milestone on February 2, 2026, with a Thanksgiving church service held as part of activities commemorating its 50th anniversary, celebrated under the theme, Legacy of Protection, Securing the Future. During the service, Director of Dominica Social Security, Ms. Janice Jajax Thomas, delivered brief remarks highlighting the vital role the institution has played in safeguarding the social and economic well-being of citizens over the past 5 decades.
Today, we gather not just to mark the passage of time, but more so to pause in gratitude and to acknowledge God's sustaining hand over this august institution throughout its existence. For 5 decades, the Dominica Social Security has stood as a pillar of support and security for the people of Dominica, and we recognize that this journey has only been possible through divine guidance, sound leadership, dedicated staff, and the trust and confidence of the public that we serve. As we celebrate this golden anniversary, we are deeply honored by the presence of all our specially invited guests, most of whom have been part of the Social Security journey over the last 5 decades. Here, we acknowledge the contributions of government, current and former members of the Dominica Social Security Board and Investment Committee, past and present staff, insured persons, employers, some of whom are being honored here today, pensioners and beneficiaries.
Ms. Thomas reinforced the wide-ranging benefits provided by Dominica Social Security and expressed heartfelt appreciation to all stakeholders, including contributors, pensioners, staff, and partners whose continued support has strengthened the institution. She further spoke about significant improvements made within the organization in recent years and emphasized the positive impact Social Security continues to have on the lives of Dominicans, particularly senior citizens, who rely heavily on its services for financial security and peace of mind.
Consider for a moment the evolution of Social Security over the 5 years, the various improvements which have been implemented, and the overall positive impact that the Dominica Social Security has had and continues to have on the lives of our people, particularly our senior citizens. Indeed, for many of them, a Social Security pension represents their only source of income during their twilight years. It is only fitting, therefore, that we all join in giving praise and thanks to God for the existence of so noble an institution which caters to the needs of our people from the cradle to the grave. Our theme this year, a legacy of protection, securing the future, appears to be the institution's track record of delivering on the promise of providing income replacement to insured persons and their dependents at times when they would otherwise be out of pocket. Further, and through prudent management and timely implementation of actuarial recommendations, we aim to better secure the future of the fund to serve successive generations of Dominicans.
Remarks were also delivered by Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, Minister for Finance, Economic Development, Climate Resilience, and Social Security, who emphasized the importance of giving thanks to the institution's 5 decades of dedicated service to the nation.
Today we gather to celebrate a significant milestone. 50 years since the establishment of the Dominica Social Security on February 1, 1976. Born out of the National Provident Fund of Dominica, Social Security represented a major step forward in expanding social protection for workers, moving from a system which only provided lump sum payments to a comprehensive program offering both short-term benefits and pensions. Over the past 5 decades, DSS has remained steadfast in providing income replacements to workers and their families during times of sickness, maternity, employment injury, disability, old age, and death. Indeed, the theme, A Legacy of Protection, Securing the Future, aptly reflects the institution's enduring contribution to national development and social stability. Today's Thanksgiving service is truly a fitting way to mark this great milestone in the life of the institution and to acknowledge the various ways in which it has touched the lives of countless Dominicans over the years. In doing so, we cannot but continue giving praise to God for the significant impact that the DSS has had on the country's socio-economic landscape and in helping our people maintain their dignity and independence during life's journey. Let me say here how proud I am as Minister responsible for Social Security to be associated with such an august institution. On this occasion, I am truly honored to extend heartfelt congratulations to the board, management, and staff of the Dominica Social Security.
Dr. McIntyre expressed pride in being associated with Dominica Social Security, noting its invaluable role in protecting workers, retirees, and vulnerable groups across the country. He acknowledged the institution as a critical pillar of national development and social stability. He further commended Dominica Social Security for its far-reaching contributions across various sectors in Dominica and reaffirmed the government's commitment to working closely with the institution to ensure it continues to operate efficiently and sustainably.
I wish to commend the strides made over the years in public education, customer service, and prudent management, as well as the institution's investments in housing, education, healthcare, and infrastructure, each contributing meaningfully to Dominica's socio-economic advancement. I must also acknowledge the institution's critical role during times of national crisis, including natural disasters and the recent COVID-19 pandemic. Looking ahead, this government remains committed to supporting necessary reforms based on recommendations emanating from the triennial actuarial reviews to ensure the long-term sustainability of the system. Initiatives such as pension reform and the exploration of an unemployment insurance demonstrate our shared resolve to adapt to changing realities while safeguarding future generations.
The minister's remarks reinforced the significance of Dominica Social Security as a trusted partner in national progress as the institution continues to build on its legacy of protection while securing the future of the Dominican people. Several employers were also recognized and awarded for their consistent compliance with the requirements of the Dominica Social Security Act and its regulations, spanning the period 1976 to 2026. These employers were commended for their long-standing commitment to meeting statutory obligations and supporting the sustainability of the Social Security system. Additionally, Mr. Bernard Henry received the award for longest-serving employee of Dominica Social Security in recognition of his decades of dedicated and exemplary service to the institution. Ms. Janice Jacques Thomas, Director of Dominica Social Security, was also honored, receiving the award for second longest serving employee, highlighting her continued contribution and leadership within the organization. The awards formed a key part of the 50th anniversary celebrations, underscoring Dominica Social Security's legacy of commitment, service, and institutional excellence. The Thanksgiving service formed part of a series of activities recognizing Dominica Social Security's enduring commitment to protection, stability, and national development as it looks ahead to securing a sustainable future for generations to come. Also in local news this evening, 35 farmers successfully completed a sustainable agriculture farmer field school held in collaboration with the University of the West Indies Global Campus, the Commonwealth of Learning, and the Ministry of Agriculture. Head of UWI Global Campus, Dr. Kimon Joseph, gave a background of the organization of the Farmer Field School.
2 years ago, UWI Global Campus Special Initiatives Unit and the Dominica site began crafting a project with the Commonwealth of Learning and the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy that would benefit the agricultural sector in Dominica. Our first cohort launched in semester 1 of 2023-2024, and last February, we successfully completed and honored 26 participants from the Northern Agricultural District. Some of them are here with us today, as I said. Today, we are here to honor 35 successful participants from the Casava territory who have formed cohort number 2. My friends, it is often said that the reward for good work is more hard work, and I believe that to be very true. Both the Commonwealth of Learning and the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy were so pleased with the first project at 1 Mile in Portsmouth that UWI was approached again to engage on further collaboration.
Dr. Joseph congratulated the participants and reminded them of a few things.
We celebrate not only the successful completion of the training program, but the invaluable contribution of every participant to the advancement of agricultural practices in our communities. During the 6 weeks, you have all dedicated your time, your energy, and your expertise to learning and sharing those techniques. It is our hope that the skills and insights gained here will go a long way in improving productivity, enhancing environmental sustainability, and strengthening the resilience of our local farming systems. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the efforts of each of you, the participants. The challenges you face as farmers, particularly in the indigenous community, is not easy. But your determination and willingness are what will continue to drive positive change in our agricultural practices. This is not the end, but the beginning of a journey towards more sustainable and prosperous farming.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Ryan Anselm, spoke of the importance of the Farmer Field School.
This ceremony is more than a presentation of certificate. It presents growth, resilience, and a shared commitment to strengthening agriculture within this space. So allow me to just put this into context. This Sustainable Agriculture Farmer Field School, this was developed in response to the many challenges facing our agriculture sector today. And we speak about climate change. But we not only speak about climate change, but there's climate action. And that is why the Ministry of Agriculture putting forth a national agricultural policy, the first pillar speaks of our sustainable and resilient productive system. This means that our sector has to be resilient against climate change. And so whatever we do, we have to put smart agricultural practices in our productive system.
Devon Barry was recognized as an outstanding student.
The Farmer Field School was pretty much very rewarding and educational. What I really liked about it was that many people who were in the school were people which I already knew in the community, so it wasn't like it was strangers. And most of all, since we were so close in the community now, we get a bigger bond basically, so now we can further develop our farms and our lifestyle on a whole. So what I learned basically was a lot of ancestral tactics that were used before, and now we learn new tactics we can use to put together to make a new approach to farming right now. So right now we are both using old and new together to make a whole new system.
And this is the second cohort of the Farmer Field School. The first cohort was held in the Portsmouth area. And finally, the Rotary Club of Dominica held a handover ceremony last week after the completion of repairs at the acute psychiatric unit APU at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. President of the Rotary Club of Dominica, Dr. Germain Jewel Japierre, underscored the extent of the works done.
The key objectives of the APU restoration project were to upgrade and modernize the physical infrastructure of the facility, create a safe, patient-centered environment that supports recovery and dignity, enhance working conditions for healthcare professionals delivering critical services, strengthen Dominica's healthcare system by ensuring adequate facilities for mental health treatment. The restoration project included, but was not limited to, electrical and plumbing upgrades, the refurbishment of patient wards and staff offices, procurement of additional beds, painting of the facility, and appealing improvements to create a therapeutic and welcoming environment. In summary, the enhancements to the acute psychiatric unit will significantly improve the environment of care for patients receiving mental health services while supporting the work of our dedicated healthcare professionals.
Meanwhile, Dr. Nadia Wallace, consultant psychiatrist at the APU, thanked the Rotary Club for their invaluable service.
And today, we can already see that these changes are already making a difference. They have helped to create a more therapeutic, home-like, and supportive environment, one that reduces patient stress, enhances safety, and restores dignity, the space that promotes healing. On behalf of the patients and staff of the acute psychiatric unit, I express our deepest gratitude to the Rotary Club of Dominica for your unwavering dedication, compassion, and partnership.
The doctor also underscored the areas at the APU in need of urgent attention.
Our journey is not without challenges. We continue to face a shortage of key professionals, such as a clinical psychologist and an occupational therapist. Our staff often face threats from distressed family members, and many of our patients receive limited support from their families. These circumstances often contribute to what we describe as the revolving door phenomenon, where patients are readmitted due to limited community or family support. We also recognize the urgent need for a rehabilitation center, a place designed to help young men and women struggling with substance use disorders regain their lives.
The Rotary Club of Dominica first conceptualized the APU and have always been instrumental in its upkeep. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. In your blast up and rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It's going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And now for regional news. Grenada's long-term economic success and social equity depend significantly on how the nation invests in its youngest learners. This was the central message delivered by Javier Gonzalez, Director of SOMA, during a presentation titled Investing in Early Literacy, Investing in Grenada's Productive and Equitable Future. Addressing Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell, education stakeholders, and private sector representatives, Gonzalez stressed that early childhood literacy is not only an educational priority, but an economic imperative. He cautioned that failing to address literacy challenges in the early years can have far-reaching consequences for national development. Gonzalez explained that weak literacy foundations by age 8 can later affect key sectors such as agriculture, tourism, and other major industries, which increasingly depend on advanced skills, effective communication, and problem-solving abilities. He noted that countries with strong early literacy outcomes tend to experience higher productivity, a more prepared workforce, and a greater social mobility. A major focus of the presentation was the importance of strengthening transversal learning skills among teachers, competencies, and support not only reading development, but also critical thinking, creativity, and lifelong learning. By equipping educators with these skills, Gonzalez said education systems can better address learning gaps and create more inclusive classrooms. During the discussion session, private sector partners reaffirmed their commitment to supporting national efforts aimed at improving literacy outcomes, recognizing education as a shared responsibility and a cornerstone of Grenada's sustainable development. The Anguilla Festival's Development Commission and the Anguilla Summer Festival officially welcomed home Miss Ariel Boucher, Miss Anguilla 2025-2026 first runner-up, following her impressive performance at the OECS regional pageant, where she secured second runner-up. Miss Boucher arrived on Saturday, January 31, at the Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport, where she received a warm red carpet reception from AFDC officials, pageant organizers, government representatives, and supporters. Among those in attendance was Minister for Social Development, Youth and Culture, Honorable Shelia Rogers-Webster, who congratulated Miss Boucher and praised her for representing Anguilla with confidence, grace, and cultural pride. The Barbados Labour Party, BLP, has pledged targeted cost of living relief through cash credits and tax measures if re-elected, rejecting across-the-board VAT cuts, which it says may not lower prices. Prime Minister and BLP leader Mia Mottley, speaking at the party's manifesto launch at Golden Square, said the approach would put money directly into people's pockets rather than relying on VAT reductions that offer no guarantee of lower costs for consumers. She announced increases to the reverse tax credit, including $1,700 for lower-income earners and a new $750 credit for those earning between $25,000 and $35,000 annually. Motley also outlined plans to fully refund income tax for earners between $35,000 and $50,000 once the country can afford it. Additionally, measures include raising the tax-free allowance for pensioners to $75,000 and providing a $1,200 annually cash credit to pensioners, welfare recipients, and special needs grant recipients. Motley said the proposal are fully costed and represent a responsible alternative to VAT cuts, which economists and the Central Bank of Barbados have warned could threaten fiscal stability. The Organization of Eastern Caribbean States has joined the regional and international community in mourning the passing of Dr. William Warren Smith, CD, a leading figure in Caribbean development. Dr. Smith served as the 5th president of the Caribbean Development Bank, providing steady and visionary leadership through major challenges, including the global financial crisis, the 2017 hurricane season, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Under his leadership, the bank strengthened its role in advancing sustainable development and regional resilience. OECS Director General Dr. Didacus Jules described Dr. Smith as a strong ally of the Eastern Caribbean, citing his support for geothermal energy and his role in securing a US $50 million COVID-19 line of credit for OECS member states. The OECS says Dr. Smith leaves a legacy of service, foresight, and unwavering commitment to Caribbean progress. The OECS says Dr. Smith leaves a legacy of service, foresight, an unwavering commitment to Caribbean progress. And that's all for regional news. Stay tuned for international news coming up next.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping. The new job starting, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
And now for international news. All Homeland Security officers on the ground in Minneapolis will be issued body cameras, Secretary Kristi Noem announced Monday. The initiative will expand nationwide as funding becomes available. The move follows calls from advocates and critics for DHS officers, including ICE and Customs and Border Protection, to wear body cameras during field operations. The decision comes after high-profile incidents, including the fatal shootings of Renee Good and Alex Pretty, which raised concerns over transparency and accountability. President Donald Trump expressed support for the measure, but left the decision to Noem, while some Senate Republicans have also voiced approval of mandating body cameras for DHS officers. And finally, former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify under oath before the Republican-led House Oversight Committee in its investigation into Jeffrey Epstein after previously declining to appear. The agreement comes as the House prepares to vote on contempt resolutions against the Clintons. Committee Chair James Comer says attorneys have agreed in principle, though details are still being finalized and no dates have been set. The Clintons say they are cooperating in good faith and continue to deny any wrongdoing. The hearings are part of a wider effort to examine Epstein's criminal activities in those connected to him. And that's all for international news. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
New game in town. Get ready to match 5 and you can win 10K. Let's go. Play with just $2. Match 5 numbers from 1 to 29 to win. Draws every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. It's easy, fun, and local. Match 5, your local jackpot game. Dominica National Lottery.
Welcome to the sports segment. Australian captain Pat Cummins has confirmed he will miss the ICC Men's T20 World Cup after a minor setback in his recovery from a back injury, saying he simply ran out of time to be fit for the tournament. Cummins, who has struggled with the injury since last July, was replaced in Australia's squad by Ben Dwashus. The fast bowler said the decision was taken with a focus on long-term fitness, especially with Australia facing a demanding international schedule through 2027. Despite missing the World Cup, Cummins is hopeful of returning in time for the Indian Premier League, which begins on March 26, pending further medical assessments. Australia will also be without Mike Stark, who has retired from T20 internationals, while Josh Hazlewood is expected to miss the early stages of the tournament. The Men's T20 World Cup gets underway on February 7. Cricket West Indies and former West Indies wicketkeeper Shane Dorridge have amicably resolved legal matters arising from his early return from the West Indies tour of New Zealand in 2020. The dispute related to his eligibility for selection and the non-renewal of his central playing contract. CWI Chief Executive Officer Chris Dering confirmed that the matter has been brought to a close and announced that Dorridge will now be part of Cricket West Indies coaching structure following his retirement from international cricket in December 2023. Dorich has welcomed the resolution, saying he is looking forward to beginning a coaching career and continuing his involvement in cricket. The terms of the settlement remain confidential. The Dominica Athletics Association has named Pine Hill its official wellness partner for the 2026 season, strengthening its focus on athletes' health and performance. The partnership will support nutrition, athlete readiness, and youth development, including the Pine Hill Next Gen Champions Workshop for top junior athletes. Pine Hill will also take naming rights for the Pine Hill National Junior Championships set for April 19. DAA President Brendan Williams welcomed the support, while Pine Hill reaffirmed its commitment to athlete wellness and sports development in Dominica. And finally, in sports, Cricket West Indies has congratulated the Leeward Islands and Jamaica on their titles in the 2026 Women's Regional Season. The Leewards claimed their first ever T20 Blaze crown, going unbeaten, with Shanisha Hector starring in the rain-affected final against Barbados. Jamaica lifted their 7th CG United Women's Super 50 title after an 8-wicket win over the Leewards, finishing top of the standings. CWI praised all 6 teams for their competitiveness, calling the season a milestone for women's cricket in the Caribbean. Here is the honor roll highlights. T20 Blaze, most runs, Shanisha Hector, most wickets, Ashmini Munisar. And in Super 50, most runs and best all-rounder went to Janelia Glasgow, most wickets, Anissa Mohammed. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report. And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 3rd of February 2026. I am your presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is Emo Nightly News, every moment online. Good night.
Carnival is girls and rum and vibes and rhythm on the road.